Hello and welcome back to another session of Therapy and Panels. Let's face it, when it comes to a lot of superheroes or villains in comic books, depending on their power levels and whatnot, you gotta have weaknesses. It would make things boring if you didn't. And a lot of times, there are some that make sense, some that don't make so much sense, and some that are just plain ridiculous or silly. Today I thought we would go look over some that I personally saw, and yeah, today we are going to do at least my top 10 silly / ridiculous / just weird weaknesses for comic book characters. Number 10, Aquaman and dehydration. As far as I could look up, this isn't really something that happens anymore, but apparently back in the day, Aquaman had to only be allowed to be outside of the water for about an hour before he started to dehydrate, and if he didn't get back into the water at around that time, he would die. So yeah, that kind of really limited a lot of use he could do outside of the water. Yeah. Number 9, Gladiator, low self-esteem. Now, for those who don't know, this is a character mostly from the X-Men series. There's this alien race known as the Shi'ar. Gladiator is a character who is basically the sworn guardian of the throne for the Shi'ar Empire. The dude is basically Superman levels of strength. I kid you not when it comes to the ridiculousness of this one. If you're able to somehow make him doubt himself, his power decreases. So yeah, his whole shtick is he has low self-esteem issues. He's powerless. Okay. Number 8, Green Lantern, the color yellow. Now I understand that, again, this is one that they fixed to where it's no longer a thing, but just the whole thought process of this is weird to me. Green Lantern, the most powerful object in the universe, can't be affected by anything with the color yellow on it. In universe, they say it's because yellow represents fear, and fear is the opposite of the willpower or courage, in my thing. But it's just really, it's basically all I have to do is dress up like Big Bird and I'm safe to fight the Green Lantern. I feel like they had a way better weakness for the Green Lantern already built into it. The fact that that the ring's not 100% powerful after its power can drain. Just find ways to make sure that he can't get to his power battery or something like that. Have him distracted to where he has to use so much of his ring, and then just jump him right before he can even get to his power battery. That I feel like those are a way better weakness than just saying the color yellow. I don't know, that's just my opinion. Number 7, Iron Man, low power. So in the older days and in the movies, a lot of you already know that for a good while, Tony, after his incident that kept him as a prisoner by terrorists for a while, he had to have this contraption on his chest to make sure his heart kept beating. For you non-comic book readers out there, for a good while, he literally had to wear like the armor piece onto his chest, and he had to have it charged. Like, he literally had to, like, find, if If he was it's enough to just saying like, oh, the power for your armor is low, you gotta do something, sir. Imagine thinking, oh, your power's running low and you gotta make sure you're charged or you'll die. And how he does this is he could be out in the middle of a mission somewhere. Crap, I need to charge someone. Does anyone have a power outlet I can use? And he has to sit there for, I kid you not, 12 hours for it to be a 100% charge. Now, Tony is a smart guy. He really couldn't think of another way to do this. He couldn't really think of it being more of a of the power generator just being in a thing to where you don't have to worry about a power outlet with that line of work. Just seems kind of dumb to me. Number 6, Red Hulk. Continue fighting. Now, normally when you think of a Hulk fighting against him, it's like, crap, this guy's gonna murder me and all that. And depending on how quickly you are and what type of character you are, yes, that is the case. But unlike the regular Hulk, Red Hulk, the madder he gets, the hotter he gets. Now, that in of itself can work to your disadvantage, but a big problem for the Red Hulk is he, like many of us, he suffers from heat exhaustion, apparently. So all you gotta do is just be someone like the Flash or Spider-Man is agility. Just keep him mad, get him really mad, have him keep wanting to punch you, and he'll just eventually collapse from heat exhaustion. Just for being a Hulk, that, for me personally, that just seems silly. Number 5, Shazam saying his name. Now, back in the day when he used to be called Captain Marvel, this wasn't much of a problem to me. Nowadays, with him being the superhero named Shazam, I feel like this is just outside ridiculous, but with all the ways that he can just screw himself over. I mean, heck, he could be out in the middle of public just being like, hi, my name's Shazam. Pfft. Whoops. And then an enemy could easily just, right before, just cover his mouth. And there you go. Like, granted, I would have just called him Captain Thunder or something. I don't know. Just it's ridiculous to name yourself after the thing that can transform you. Number 4, Spider-Man bug spray. Now, as far as I'm aware of, they don't really do this one anymore. I don't know if it's still a canon thing. Back in the day, apparently it was used on some spider slayers. Apparently Peter Parker, and I'm gonna assume in contrast Miles Morales and any other spider variant out there, you wanted to easily help take them down, just get a thing of ethyl chloride bug spray. Just take that, Spider-Man. Like, it just makes me wonder, why haven't people like Doc Ock or Green Goblin thought of that? Number 3, Thor, 60 seconds away from his hammer. Again, this is one that has changed, and for good reasons too. Back in the day, when Thor used to have a secret identity where he was a weak dude who had to walk with a cane named Donald Blake. Basically, if you got him separated from the hammer for more than for a minute more, he loses all of his powers and he transforms back into Donald Blake. Now, for a guy who a lot of his stuff that he does is, one of his favorite moves is throwing the hammer at people, that seems like a really dumb thing. Yes, I know he can magically have it summoned back to him. But what if we got something like the invisible... Invisible Woman as an example. Force field around the thing so he can't get to him before the minute. Or Nightcrawler teleports Thor away as an example before he can get the hammer back. Just things like that. That just seems silly. Number 2, Wonder Woman Bondage. This one definitely had to go for many reasons. But just for a better explanation, a lot of this had to do with the mindset of the creator of Wonder Woman. He had a bit of a kink of bondage. Basically, for Wonder Woman, if a man managed to tie her bracelets together, she became submissive and lost all of her strength. Now, especially back then, for a children's comic book, that's kind of insane and very inappropriate. And I can only imagine how that would work today if that was still a thing in the comics. And number 1, Zatanna, cover her mouth. Now, this one isn't exactly silly or anything to me. It's more just the process of just my mind just thinking of when you fully understand how Zatanna and her powers work, how she has to speak out a lot of her stuff. It's just a funny thing where you can just be like, if you're quick enough in time, just a quick like judo chop to the throat, or doing something like quickly just manage to tie her up somehow and just put a piece of tape over her mouth. Things like that, and it's just kind of a funny thought just thinking of that, and she basically can't do much. And with that, those are just some of my thoughts on some ridiculous weaknesses that characters in comic books have had, or still have. Let me know if you guys thought of any that should have been on here. And with that is the end of today's session. Thank you all for attending. If you liked the video, please be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, I am the Super Guru, signing off, and going off of the date of this recording. If I don't see you until then, I just want to wish you all a happy Thanksgiving.